Yabba dabba doo! Welcome to PCP Movie Night. Welcome in particular to our review of the Flintstones from 1994. I am your host, Rockin' Robbie Bills. That's right, I didn't have to change my name to something clever because it's already Flintstone appropriate. I am Rockin' Robbie. This is the year of the heel, PCPX. And if you ain't down with this movie, The Flintstones, or PCPX, I got two words for you. Eat shit. Speaking of eating shit, it's Jelani. What is up, my man?
What's up? Don't eat shit. Suck it, suck it, suck it, suck it, suck it. Hey, man. Yeah, this is the third movie that disappointed me in the theaters after I watched it. The second was Double Dragon. So you know where I'm at with this movie.
All right. All right. Well, let's. By the way, everybody, go check out Go Figure Reviewsasaurus, and also joining us tonight is Brooke Stone. What is up, my man?
What's up?
Excited to be here to talk about the Flintstones.
Am I? Boy, oh boy. This is the one. This is gonna be the one, I think.
This is the one. Speaking of the one, it's Fable Rubble. What is up, my man?
Yabba dabba station. Let's have a gay old time. Let's go.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let's do that. Speaking of a gay old time, it's Vermilosaurus. What is up, my man?
What that's what I'm here for. I'm here for the gay old time jokes, man. That's what I signed up for. So far, we're not disappointing.
Yeah, we're already not even 3 minutes into the stream. We've already gotten a few of them out of the way, right?
And a few backstage, so we're ready to roll.
All right, but welcome everybody. We're talking about 1994's The Flintstones. I only own this on VHS. Now, I didn't watch it on VHS. I watched it on Netflix. And this is one of those rare occasions where I actually pick a movie for PCP Movie Night that is on a popular streaming service. It's actually on Netflix, at least until the end of the month. So you got 2 more weeks to watch it on Netflix, and then who knows where it's going to go. But after watching this movie, y'all, I might have to upgrade to a Blu-ray copy. And let me tell you something. I remember this movie very vividly when it came out. First of all, I, like most people in America and across the world, actually, I'm a fan of the Flintstones. I watched it on reruns, who knows where or when or whatever, but all throughout my life, the Flintstones has been a presence. I vividly remember going to the movie theater to see Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park. And there was a teaser for this movie where it was like a sing-along to the Flintstones theme. And at the end, John Goodman comes out and goes, yabba dabba doo. And I was all for it. And then I remember the marketing blitz for the Flintstones. There were toys galore. For instance, like Fred Flintstones and Barney Rubble right there.
Those are cool.
Yep, from Mattel. Yeah. Tons of toys. Now, I already know that this existed before, but Cocoa and Fruity Pebbles, this shows you the staying power of the Flintstones as marketing gods in a way. They still have their own cereal. Now, I remember back in the day getting a box of Cocoa Pebbles, begging my mom for it, finally got it. It came with a movie poster for the Flintstones. I have started looking that movie poster up on eBay. I remember the McDonald's marketing campaign, or should I say the Rock Donald's marketing campaign. They had some great mugs, glass mugs, kind of like what they would eventually do for Batman Forever. They also did some really cool Happy Meal toys where they had the buildings of Bedrock with the cars and the people in the cars. I gotta get those. Man, I'm Flintstones crazy. I went and watched this in the movie theater. I loved it back then. I rented it often in my middle school years, and then I got too cool for the Flintstone movie, right? And I haven't seen it since, and this was the first time I've rewatched it since like 1996 or something like that. And yo, I was surprised as shit how much I love this movie. I appreciated it in a certain way back in 1994 when I'm like 13 years old. I appreciated the look of it, the vibe of it, and I loved John Goodman. I was a fan of Roseanne because that was the TV sitcom that felt the most like my actual life. Like they were always that and Married with Children, right? So I was pumped for this. I also loved Rick Moranis, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Ghostbusters, Nuff Said, right? Also, when I was a kid watching this movie, what's her name? Elizabeth Perkins? Bro, I had such a crush on Wilma in this movie, dude. And, you know, I'm 13. I'm hitting puberty hardcore. Anything's going to turn me on. The Mom and Home Improvement would get me going. But you do not need to underestimate how much Wilma in this movie is so sexy to me. It's still today, right? Anyway, now as an adult, I'm watching the movie and I'm appreciating it even more. When I was a kid, all the stuff about corporate greed, embezzlement, the adoption troubles, all the real life shit that's going on in this movie, I didn't care about that. It was over my head. I just loved the jokes. I wanted to see him slide down the dinosaur. I wanted to see him say yabba dabba doo. And also at the time, I had a major crush on Halle Berry from this movie. And it was the first time I'd ever saw her, right? And man, between Elizabeth Perkins, who now because I was like, man, she's so familiar. What else is she in? Dude, she's in Weeds. She's awesome in Weeds, right? She's awesome in Weeds. But man, this movie is really good. I think it works for kids. I think it works for adults. What's crazy is if you go and watch the original Siskel and Ebert review of this movie, they're like, kids don't know anything about embezzlement or this hot secretary. They just want a fun movie. Who's this movie made for? You know who this movie's made for? The same people, the same audience that the Flintstones sitcom. That's right. Not the Flintstones kids cartoon, but the Flintstones sitcom was made for. Everybody. It was made for the American family, right? It was based on the Honeymooners. We all know that. It was the first cartoon to air during prime time. It had jokes aimed at kids, but for the most part, it was meant for the family and for adults to enjoy. It was later on when it hit syndication in 1966 where NBC or ABC started playing it on Saturday mornings, that it became more of a kid franchise. And they tried to continue that into the 70s with the Pebbles and Bam Bam show, into the 80s with the
Flintstones kids.
I was such a fan of the Flintstone kids, man. It has had an indelible mark on American pop culture in general. Like the Flintstones sell vitamins, they sell cereal, they sell action figures, they sell memorabilia, and they made a giant, what I would consider the most ambitious production of a cartoon to live action film. Every set was made. It's beautiful. The actors are perfect, I think, in this movie. They have the vibe of that show, the adult nature of it, as well as the kiddie nature of it. I think this is absolutely one of the best movies from that era in this vein, right? And there's a lot of shit like this. Little Rascals, the Dennis the Menace movie, all that kind of stuff, right? This movie freaking works, blows me away. Mark Russell has to have taken inspiration from this for his amazing comic book series that he did at DC a few years ago. I watched it in the theater. I loved it then. It was another excuse for McDonald's to bring back the McRib. I loved it. My bad. For Rock Donald's to bring back the McRib. I loved that. I always love it when the McRib comes back. Y'all, I'm really fucking pumped about this movie. It took me right back to my childhood. I loved it. There's a lot of history about this movie. We'll talk about that as we go along. But Jelani, overall, what did you think about the Flintstones?
It was the opposite of everything you just said. It hurt my feelings. Screw that. Fuck this movie. I hate this movie.
You know what? You're on the fucking list, Jelani.
Womp womp. Watch me cry about it. Jesus Christ. I watched this in the theater too. I had the opposite feeling that you had. When I saw it, I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. Flintstones movie. I'm excited. I was actually excited for this too. And then I sat down and watched it and I was like, oh my God, this is shit. It's so cheesy. It's so corny. It's kind of lame. They shouldn't have made it live action for some reason. It should have been like a cartoon that they just voiced the characters. They were perfectly cast as voice actors. If they'd done voice actors for this, it would have been a lot better. But the technology wasn't there for them to make it like the animation that we could have had, like Super Mario Brothers or something like that. I think it should have been done that way. It would have made more sense. The music, I'm going to say it again. The music insists upon itself. It insists upon itself. It's constantly the fucking Flintstones. Now, it's fine if it's a cartoon, but when it's the whole goddamn score and it's just after a while, I'm like, Fuck y'all. That was me the first time I saw it. I watched this movie. This is the first time I've seen the movie since I saw it in the theater. And I was like, fuck this movie. This is trash. I couldn't stand it. The CG is terrible to me. The sets are fine. Halle Berry. Oh, Halle Berry. Lord Hammers. Shoo! She got me every scene she was in. I was watching when I was a kid. I had a crush on Halle Berry back then. That was Boomerang. Boomerang had me.
Boomerang, yeah.
Boomerang.
Oh yeah.
I was like, second I saw Boomerang, she was just court this cute short haircut. She fine. I don't know why she had so many problems with marriages and stuff. I don't know. I feel terrible because I would have never left Halle Berry. I wouldn't have cheated on Halle Berry. I don't care what she said. I don't give a damn. But it's Halle Berry that makes this movie for me. She's awesome in this film. Dino, I like Dino. I will give you Dino. Dino, for some reason, just tickles my heartstrings. I love the scene where Dino is tied up with Elizabeth Taylor, and like Fred steps over Elizabeth Taylor to get to Dino. That shit still makes me crack up. It made me crack up back then, made me crack up now. That's the only laugh I had. It was corny. It was cheesy. They could have made this better. So much better. And Lord have mercy, Halle Berry. That's all I got to say about this movie.
Okay, fair enough. This movie, of course, was directed by Brian Levant, who right before this movie had directed successfully Problem Child Part 2 and Beethoven. He also had directed many episodes of Happy Days, Mork and Mindy. He was a sitcom guy, right? And he is the world's biggest Flintstones fan. Seriously, watch behind the scenes footage. He talks about it. Every time he does his interviews, he's surrounded by his massive Flintstones collection of memorabilia. He's got all the shit from the 60s onward. This dude is the uber Flintstone fan. And he came in, and there were a lot of writers that came in. Steven DeSouza of 48 Hours and Die Hard, came in and did the initial draft of this movie. There was over 35 people that worked on this movie, because at one point Brian Levant brought in a team of people and tried to start rewriting the movie like a sitcom where everybody was throwing ideas out. Of course, the Writers Guild made sure that only 3 people got credit and money for the movie, but a lot of people put their influence into this movie. And you can feel that love of Flintstones in this movie because Jelani was not a part of that writer's room. What about you, Brooks? What do you think about the Flintstones on the rewatch? Something like 30 years later?
Yeah, it's been a while. The last time I saw it was in the theater. It was one of the few movies that I remember seeing in the theater as a kid. It's my parents did not take me to the theater very often. Every once in a while, I get to see a movie, and this was one of them. I remember liking it as a kid, but not loving it. I didn't remember much about it really. I liked it, but it wasn't one of my favorite movies or anything. And rewatching it, I thought it was really good. As for what it is, it's a Flintstones movie. It hits all the references. It has the look, it has the sound. It is a Flintstones movie. And it's goofy and it's dumb, but it is what it is. And there are a few jokes that I wish that if I was in there, I would have thrown in there. After Barney gets fired, after Fred tells Barney he's fired, he breaks out a pack of Winstons.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
And they could have probably still gotten away with that in 1994.
Yeah, it still flew back then. But maybe have the BC-52s say, and here's our new single, Bedrock Lobster. There's so many potential. Fred wakes up to do his breakfast, and his Pebbles is gone. They're like, Barney.
Oh, they should have done the Pebbles reference, man. Yeah.
There's so many opportunities.
It would have been too sad because Barney stole his Pebbles because he's broke, because he got fired for giving his test up to Fred.
Fred, I can't afford my own Pebbles because you fired me. Yeah,
See, they could have kept that. They would put that in the movie.
Yeah, I think this movie had some there's so many jokes you guys throw in there, but it's a Flintstones movie, and I think for the most part it's well cast. I thought everyone filled their role a bit. Some better than others, but I think they kind of toned down Wilma a little bit, sadly, in this one. Because like the cartoon, Wilma was like super sassy, you know. She was like the boss, you know. She was always like, you know, sassing Fred, you know, because she was based off of the Alice from the Honeymooners. You know, so she's kind of this like sarcastic, witty chick, but they kind of toned her down a little in this movie, I think. Like I think they kind of gave the mother-in-law like all of Wilma's sass.
Yeah.
So like it
maybe
kinda,
a little bit. I think
Yeah.
it's there a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I'll tell you
not
what,
near as much.
this Wilma
Like-
is sexier to me, man. I don't know what it is, but I am all about Elizabeth Perkins in this movie. I'm about to buy my girlfriend a Wilma fucking cosplay. You just wait and see, man. So you liked it though, Brooks. It was
it was pretty
yeah.
good.
I felt surprised too, man. I hadn't seen this movie in like over 25 years, man. What about you, Fable? What's your history? What did you think?
Yeah, like everybody, I love the Flintstones coming up, man. I saw that cartoon on repeat all the time. So when this thing was announced, I was super excited. And coming from Amblin, you know, coming from Steven Spielberg, hot off of Jurassic Park, and then you got John Goodman in there, and nobody's mentioned Rosie O'Donnell. Rosie O'Donnell was a hot comedian at that time too. So the whole
This was
cast, Rick
before
Moranis,
Ultra Insufferable, right?
yeah,
He's got that laugh for Betty so perfectly down.
yeah.
Mm.
And then they're using those brand new CGI effects for Dino. I was like, oh my God, they brought Dino to life. Like how, you know, you always wonder how they were going to do it. Plus Jim Henson puppets. Like I love Jim Henson, right? Like I'm a Jim Henson fanboy, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. So I knew he was doing all the puppetry in this.
You
I
know,
was
initially,
ultra excited.
Fable, they got Steven Spielberg wanted to work with Stan Winston again. But when he designed all the dinosaurs, they all looked like Jurassic Park dinosaurs. And they were like, well, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. But you know, I do remember being a little disappointed by this when I was younger. I did like it. I did enjoy it. I thought it was a grand production. You know, like you said, great actors. Everybody played their parts to the T. And on this watch, I think I enjoyed it more than back then. But I think half of that is because I have kids, right? And like I see a lot of kids' movies, and my kids, I haven't shown them this one, but after this watch, I definitely think they're gonna love this movie. Like, absolutely love it. My only complaint with it is like, it feels like it was written by for 4-year-olds or 5-year-olds, right?
Mhm.
It's
That's what it
really, yeah, it's really corny. The jokes are really juvenile. And I dare say that the original cartoon was written more like adult or better than this movie was. But other than that, I mean, you got to appreciate them bringing this whole thing to life. I mean, the props, they built everything from scratch. I mean, it's a grand production. I enjoy it. I think kids will absolutely eat this up. It's not a bad movie. It even has a good story. Like Fred getting, you know, being a boss and being full of himself and changing on people. I mean, that's a perfect episode of the Flintstones right there. So I don't think this is bad. I just think it's more for younger people than people would have expected even back then, right? Because like all the people who would have wanted to see this back then, besides the children, are all the adults that grew up watching this when they were kids, right? Like in the 50s or whatever. So when they saw this coming out, they would have been like super excited. So I think that's what led to like maybe a little disappointment with a lot of people. I think if they went the Brady Bunch route, right? Like I think Brady Bunch is like one of the most perfect, like taking an old sitcom from the 50s and 60s and bring it to the modern era and make it like super hilarious. But you know, they kept it really PG, and that maybe brings it down a little bit. But I think it's a fine movie.
I mean, there are those moments though when like Halle Berry's like crawling on the desk with her tits in Fred Flintstone's face. There are some moments there, you know, but I get what you're saying. Of course, it was a lavish production. $46 million they spent on this movie. And in 1994 for this movie, that was a lot of money. And even though critically it did not do very well, it made $340 million at the box office. It was a smash hit. They wanted to do another one, but one of the actors didn't even want to do it in the first place. Of course, that was John Goodman. He was afraid that if he did this movie, he would hear Yabba Dabba Doo for the rest of his life. And y'all, there's some funny bits. You can look him up of interviewers being like, saying like Fred Flintstone or Yabba Dabba Doo puns and shit to him. And he just like, nah, man. Like, so there was this one guy, he goes, "Hey man, are you like Al Pacino in Taxi Driver and stand in front of the mirror all day, but instead of saying, 'Are you talking to me?' you're saying yabba dabba do," and he just straight up deadpans the guy and just goes, "No. It makes you feel better. No, I don't."
I'm a serious actor.
He was not happy. He got pulled into the role because
about to enter a world of pain.
he did Always, the Steven Spielberg movie. And at one of the first table readings, Steven Spielberg came in and said, "Hey, y'all, I'm going to make a Flintstones movie, and I finally found my Fred Flintstone. It's this guy." And John Goodman's like, "Fuck. If I say no, my career is ruined. You don't say no to Steven Spielberg, right?" Anyway, we'll get into more of that later on. Verno, what about you? What do you think about this movie? I know that your family has an interesting history with it.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how interesting it is, but my wife has it on all the time. I just watched it today for the first time that I sat down and actually watched it, but I'm catching bits and pieces of the Flintstones on a weekly basis. Like whenever it's streaming, it's always on. But just like you guys, I grew up with it. I loved it. And I went back right before we got rolling. I watched an episode just to get a feel for it, watch the intro, see everything, which first of all, I had to get to season 3 before the intro that we're familiar with is used, which that threw me off. And I had forgotten just how much, like, it's based on the Honeymooners, like Robbie said, and we all know. I'd forgot just how much the Simpsons is based on it, even with the intro, even the original intro that I didn't remember seeing. The original intro ends with Fred Flintstone pulling into the garage, going inside the house, and watching the Flintstones on TV. And then the second intro is what I always thought the Simpsons intro was more based on. But just like what you guys have all said, like it's the sets, it's the design, the look of it, how Flintstone-y it is. But I remember, just like you said, Fable, I do remember kind of being disappointed at the first time that I saw it when I was a kid. Because I feel like this was the first time that I'd ever seen like a different interpretation of characters that I knew on screen. Maybe Batman. I don't know when Batman came out relative to this.
Batman's 89.
That's different. It's so cartoony. He's in a suit and I don't know, man. I guess this is
the first time I remember this feeling was Super Mario Brothers, which was I think the year before, and I remember being like, "What?"
Yeah, that's even harder to swallow. They did a better job with this. But to me, it was Dino. Dino was one of the characters that it was like weird. He's more animal-like in this than he was in the cartoon, if that makes sense. For whatever reason.
I was thinking, like, I wish they'd used this puppet for Yoshi in the Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah,
Kind of more Yoshi-esque.
I laughed though. Like I watched it today, sat down, I watched it with my toddler, which was great. This is like the first movie I've ever been able to watch for my channel or your channel that I could sit down with Madison and watch it. And she loved it. She sat there and watched it for the most part. And I laughed like 3 or 4 times throughout the thing. It's definitely corny. I agree with what all you guys are saying. But I do think it strikes the decent balance, kind of like what you were saying, Robbie. It's got the adult themes, but it's got the cartoony energy throughout the whole thing. And John Goodman's voice kind of goes. Do you guys notice that his accent is not consistent? Like he's kind of all over the place with the impersonation. But I think it's got heart and it feels so 90s to me. It's so nostalgic and I love it, especially the sets. Stu had a good point that it would be great to own like a prop from this movie. It would there's enough of them to go around that I'm sure they're all over the place. But it's an awesome looking movie.
Oh, hell yeah. They should have kept that set up and made it like a theme park out of it or some shit. Like there was supposed to be a Flintstones theme park at one point. They built it and then they abandoned it. And I think it's still out there and you can go visit it and it looks all like, it's like a Bedrock ghost town or some shit like that. But this
I don't know if they have it. I don't know if they have it, but they need a 4K remaster of this thing. I don't know if you all saw it on Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't look that good. Like
it looked better than this, I'll tell you that.
And this thing needs a really good 4K cleaning. I don't know if they've done it already, but Netflix usually has like the best version of stuff. But I don't know. This was not the best.
Yeah, I don't think they've done they did the initial like HD remaster, and I think that's the version that's still out there. But yeah, they haven't done a 4K restoration on it. All right, so Verno, we all seem to have liked this movie even more than we did when we were younger, except for Jelani. But I do think the movie has a great cast, and even Jelani, I'm sure, has a cast member he wants to highlight. I'm pretty certain I know who you're going to talk about. So why don't we talk about whoever you want to talk about? What's a performance you want to highlight, Jelani?
The Bird. The bird's pretty damn good.
Oh,
That's
dude.
good. Yeah.
Dick the Bird. That's not who I was thinking. That's awesome, man.
I know it was Halle Berry, but I'm gonna definitely pick the bird because y'all are gonna be like, oh, you always picked the bird.
You know who played the bird, right?
No, not a clue.
I don't know
Mel
his name
Blanc.
right now, but it's the dude. What's his name?
Mel Blanc.
No, it's not Mel Blanc.
It's not Mel Blanc. Oh,
No,
Mel Blanc.
Mel Blanc was dead by this point, but they used his voice recordings to put Dino. Yeah.
Dino.
So Mel Blanc is Dino, but he was dead when it came out. But it's the dude who played the fucking Martian magic guy in the Flintstones movie. Like the Flintstones show. You remember the little he's in the fucking sequel.
Yeah.
Right? Is that his name?
Kazoo. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a good Flintstones sequel to Helga the Great.
He's in the prequel they did, Viva Rock Vegas.
Corman?
Harvey Korman is his name. Harvey Korman.
Harvey Korman. There you go. He did a lot of other famous.
Wait, it was Harvey Korman.
A lot of Mel Brooks shit. Yeah.
Harvey Korman from the Carol Burnett show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah, he's really good. I like that bird. That bird was saving that movie for me. I was like, oh shit, this bird is. I don't know. I don't remember it happening.
That bird was cracking me up the whole goddamn movie, man.
He was snarky. And he was like, I'm sure Disney wouldn't have this happen to me. You know,
he's like, I should have signed with Disney.
Yeah, that shit was great. I don't know what it was. I was just like, oh my God. Like, he was a perfect balance to Fred. He's a perfect balance to Wilma. He was good all around. That bird was good all around. I was like, I like that bird. This movie's trash, but I love that bird. He all right.
Fuck, I was going to pick the Dick the Bird. I guess I got to think of something else.
So was I, dude. So was I.
Everybody, I love it. We all think we try to think outside the box, and then we're all like, the bird. And everybody's like, fuck.
The lawnmower. The lawnmower.
I was picking Halle Berry.
I got an action figure of that lawnmower. Look at that. How cool is that?
That was a cute lawnmower.
Brooks, what about you? What's a performance you want to highlight?
I actually kind of like the villain in this movie, like the fucking greasy
Kyle MacLachlan
kid, business goober kid guy who's like he's kind of like I guess he's kind of like a statement on like, you know, the kind of like young up and coming like, you know, business guy culture, you know, kind of like the American Psycho thing, you know, like he seems like he could be played by Christian Bale, and in one scene like in front of Halle Berry's character he's like just like dismembering this poor caveman that he's just fired. But yeah, he feels like very much like a Flintstones kind of villain. You know, he's just, and like, you know, the Flintstones was always kind of a reflection on like, you know, kind of American life. And like, you know, that's just what he is. Like, he's just like a reflection of, you know, the kind of corporate culture that was coming up, like, you know, like much before like the 80s and 90s, but like, you know, especially in the 90s, you know, that was like a big thing of these young upwardly mobile professionals and such. So yeah, it was like he was pretty funny, and it's, you know, you like to see him get his comeuppance because he's so like, you know, slimy and greasy. And you're like,
he's the only thing killed in this movie.
It's like they aren't afraid to kill villains in these old movies.
Yeah, he's dead.
Prehistoric yuppie.
I love that you mentioned him, man. Kyle MacLachlan plays the hell out of that character. His character's name is Cliff Vandercave.
Yeah. Cliff Vandercave.
And I love him, man. And I recognized him because my family watched Twin Peaks when I was a kid, right? I hadn't seen Blue Velvet quite yet, but I did remember him from Twin Peaks, and I loved seeing him in this movie.
I did not realize that was that guy.
Yeah, me neither. Oh, no shit.
Yep, Kyle MacLachlan. What
I
about you?
remember him from I remember
Showgirls.
Dune.
Dune.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's in Showgirls too, isn't he?
Yeah.
Look, 2 weeks we'll be talking about another Kyle MacLachlan. This is the year of Kyle MacLachlan. Fuck the year of PCPX and the heel. Shit. All right, Fable. What about you? What's a performance you want to highlight?
I'm gonna go with Elizabeth Taylor, man. She came in and she stole the show, man. Just when you think the old lady ain't got it, she still got it, man. She ate it up. She was hilarious to me. She was swarmy. You know what I mean? When Fred finally got the good job, the way she changed was awesome. So yeah, I think Elizabeth Taylor just came in and killed it. I loved her in this movie.
She did one of the big celebrity appearances. You know, the original Flintstones show was known for those celebrity appearances, and they kind of did them here with Jonathan Winters is in there. Yeah. The dude who played Bull in Night Court, what's his name? He just passed away.
Martin Mull. Or
yeah,
not, I'm sorry, Richard Mull.
Richard Mull. He's there. He's in there. So she's great. The sad thing is, this kind of was like she got a lot of like attention for doing this. She hadn't done a movie in a long time.
That's what I mean, man.
Hailed as her comeback. It also turned out to be her final film role. So a little bit of bittersweetness there, but she's awesome in the movie. What about you? What's a performance you want to highlight?
I'll go with Rosie O'Donnell, man. I loved her back in the day. Like you mentioned it earlier, she's fallen out of favor for some people. I didn't really give a shit, but I loved her when she did Spotlight comedy, if that was what it was called. It was on VHS. Remember that? She hosted like a stand-up thing. She'd come out with the flashlights. Loved her, adored her when I was a kid, and she got a lot of flack at the time, basically just because she was overweight playing Betty.
Yeah.
And I like that she came out and did it. The laugh that she does, that was part of her act. She did that Betty laugh in her stand-up act, which is partially why she got the role. But I got to give a shout out to Rosie. In general, 90s Rosie, I was a huge fan of.
Yeah, you know, and you can't undersell it, man, because a lot of people have their opinions about her nowadays, and that evolved for many different reasons for many different people. But at this time, League of Her Own, or League of Their Own, right? This movie, and wasn't she in another Stakeout, right? Or was she in the original Stakeout? I don't know. She's in one of them.
She was in Harriet the Spy.
Yeah. Wasn't that slightly after this, maybe?
That's way after this. Yeah.
I don't know, but that's like
not too long after this.
But Rosie O'Donnell's
one of the first big like Nickelodeon movies.
Yeah,
if I recall.
She did a perfect Betty, man. She sounded just like Betty.
She did a perfect Betty, and she was another uber fan of the Flintstones. In fact, she would recommend things on set, and they were like, "Oh shit!" The director would be like, "You're right, I forgot about that bit." So like, what was it? What's the damn song that's in there?
The Bedrock Twist. Yeah, that was from an episode.
That all came from her. She goes, "Don't forget, we got to do that." She told the B-52s that. She was like, "You got to do the Bedrock Twist." For my performance, I want to highlight. Fuck. First of all, Elizabeth Perkins is hot as hell in this movie. Did you guys know that I got a thing for her in this movie? Outside of that, John Goodman didn't want to do this movie. They wanted him to do a sequel. They were going to do a sequel to this movie. He told Steven Spielberg, "Bro, I don't want to do this. Like, if I do this, I'm going to be Fred Flintstone for the rest of my life. I don't want to do that." So they didn't. And there wasn't a Flintstone sequel ever. There was a prequel they did in the year 2000. When me and Jelani worked at the movie theater. You may have already been at Disney at that point, maybe.
Yeah.
But that movie's not so good. It's the same director, though, which is interesting. But I think John Goodman killed
Vegas or something.
Viva Rock Vegas, yeah. It's a prequel about how Betty and Wilma met Fred and Barney. But the other thing is Rick Moranis' Barney is so fucking perfect. Like, so perfect. He plays that stupid, yet he plays it a little bit differently than the cartoon a little bit, because in the cartoon, he's just stupid. He's just dumb, right? But in this one, there's like a lot more like heart. And it's those two together, John Goodman and Rick Moranis, that make this movie for me. Their friendship, their chemistry is palpable. You can really, really feel it. All right, let's talk about the style and structure. Man, the set design on this movie is spectacular. Everything was made from scratch. They built a whole fucking town. I mean, this is Steven Spielberg. You know, he's big time Hollywood. He knows how to do it. This is like Back to the Future, where they built like that whole goddamn town square. They did that with bedrock. They built a neighborhood with like 15 houses, and they built the town square. That is ridiculous. They built an actual Rock-Donald's there that they used. McDonald's used it for their commercials, right? It's like the sets are glorious. The costume design is glorious. All of the special effects, the Jim Henson stuff, and even the Industrial Light and Magic. I know that Jelani said the CG is not that great. The CG looks the way it does, I think, because a lot of it's daytime. But Dino looks fucking amazing for me. And Dino's pretty much most of the special effects shots. They're very few. And it's a great blend to me of the practical and the digital effects. I think it looks great. I think it's got a tight structure. I think it's well written. There may have been a lot of cooks in that kitchen, but this is a sitcom, and that's how sitcoms work. And I think it works for the movie's favor. I love all the little bits. I love all the little in jokes. I love all the stuff on the inside. I think structurally and style-wise, it's pretty solid. In fact, I think style-wise, that's where the movie soars the most. It looks like a real-life Flintstone cartoon. From costumes to Muppets to fucking the set. Everything about those cars looks so realistic. All the bits too. And like, here's a stupid little bit. How about when everybody's terrified over the pterodactyl that's flying over him and it just shits all over that car? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really funny stuff that I like. What about you, Jelani? What do you think about the style and the structure?
It looks good. It's a good, well-made set that when they actually made sets. I like the fact that they had, for the test, they had actual rocks that they had to like hit the rock with the hammer and the thing to like etch out. I like that. I liked most of the special effects. I mean, CG is a big thing for me, and I'm not a fan of all of it, but Dino was clean. I will agree that Dino was very good looking. I wish they'd had more Dino actually in this. I wish Dino had played a part in the final act somehow. That would have been awesome for me. I like that it's mercifully short. So it's short enough for me. It was just, I think we're going to get to the music. I think the music is what hurts this film for me, but I think structurally it makes sense. It's a sitcom, so it's in that structure. It makes the structure that, you know, Fred's trying to be somebody instead of nobody to prove to his mother-in-law that he's somebody. You know, Barney switches the tests so that he gets the job. Then Barney immediately loses his job after he gets, you know, the thing. They have to get stuck living together. It's a sitcom, you know, and it's fixed in the end. It's got the structure of it. I understand it. It's good to me. But like I said, when I watched it the first time I saw this movie, I've only watched it 2 times in my life. And I wasn't in the mood to watch it the first. I was in the mood to watch it the first time, and it disappointed me because I thought it was too boring. It just felt boring to me, and the music kind of kills it in some parts for me. I don't know what it is. I have no clue. I think they should have just come up with a new soundtrack. I know we're not even talking about music, but somehow that for me, with the structure of the film, I think it plays hand in hand with what we're doing. And you could make it. This is an episode of the Flintstones. I get it. It is a almost damn near perfect 1-to-1 of an episode from the Flintstones, but it's a little, I don't know how to explain it. It's a little too Flintstones for me. Like, this would have been better as a cartoon. Like I said before, I think it's just made that way. I think that all these people should have just been voice actors for a cartoon version of the Flintstones, which would have probably made even more money, and John Goodman wouldn't have to say yabba dabba doo all the time.
I don't think it would have made more money. I severely contest that. Like, this movie made almost $400 million in 1994, bro.
I get
it's
it.
One of the biggest grossing movies of 1994. You think if they put out another animated Flintstone movies, because they've done a few of them, man. You know, that wasn't a new idea.
I'm saying in motion picture form. They didn't put it in motion picture. This is a motion picture live action, and I don't think it should have been live action. That's my opinion. I just don't think it just didn't look right to me when I saw it as a kid, and then I saw it again as an adult, and I was like, yeah.
Fair enough. What about you, Brooks? What do you think about the style and structure?
Well, I mean, like I said, it is like they very much do get the style of the Flintstones in there, and you can tell, like the people that made it actually cared about the property they were adapting, which is like, you know, more than we can say for most adaptations these days.
Could you imagine if the Mario director would have done this?
God, jeez.
Yeah, like it's you know, it feels like, you know, even if you don't like, if you think it's stupid or dumb, or you have to give it to it that, it does feel like a project that, the people who made it cared about, the Flintstones, like, and they wanted to make a good movie. And, it's I wouldn't say it's a good movie, but it's far from a bad movie. Like, it is, like, it is very much like, a kind of goofy comedy done in, like, the kind of classic old school Flintstone style. So yeah, like not all the jokes land, but there are a few good ones over there. I love when Fred leaps in the air and he like hovers there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like it's funny seeing John Goodman like just floating in the air, like twinkling his feet. And how they do the bowling thing too, where just on his tiptoes, and then like it makes the same sound too. Like, so yeah, like this is a great Flintstones movie. I think it's an okay movie, but it's actually a really good Flintstones movie.
I like what you said, where you said it's not a good movie, but it's definitely not a bad movie. It's one of these movies. It's a not that bad as you think movie.
It's mid.
Right?
It's totally mid.
You're acting like it's lower than mid, brother. I'm just going to say that, right? But it's all right. Fable, what about you? What do you think about the style and structure of the Flintstones from 1994? The live action one, not the anime.
Well, style-wise, I mean, they hit the nail on the head, right? They got all the bits in there. They got Bam Bam lifting stuff, hitting people with his thing, his fucking case
hitting people with his
club.
thing?
His thing. Club, thank you. They got the freaking, they got the damn cars in there. The cars look awesome, and they're like, you know what I mean? Everybody's, like you said, they do the sound effects with the feet. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? They got the animals being the tools in a lot of ways, which, I mean, like I said, I'm a big Jim Henson fan, and the pig, the
garbage disposal.
Yeah,
he looked amazing.
Well, here's your problem.
I love all,
like they had to make that fork. Like everything in this movie had to be made. They couldn't just go out to a thrift store and find the glasses and the plates. They had like everything had to be made, man. That's insane.
And I think they nailed it. Like if that was the mission, right? Mission accomplished. Like they did it, right? Structure, I think it's fine too. I think it plays out really well. I love when they go bowling, like you said. They go to the lodge because that's a big part of the
they did the water buffalo hats.
Yeah, and then what they did cool that they probably never did in the cartoon is they had different kind of cavemen, right? Like at different points in evolution. Like they had Neanderthals, they had the orangutans in there. Like they did all the kind of cavemen, which is pretty funny. So
one of my favorite little bits when he goes, Flintstone passed the test, and Kyle MacLachlan goes, "That big ape," and Halle Berry goes, "No, he actually did worse." Or
he got a 60.
I would say, man, there's one thing they should have thrown in was a Captain Caveman reference.
Captain Caveman.
There was that one actor, like he's a recognizable actor that looked like a Neanderthal, and I don't even think there was like much makeup.
Too much makeup. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love when MacLachlan is talking to the people in the quarry, and the orangutan raises his hands. He's like, later, man. We'll get to you later. He's like, oh damn. He's like, so yeah, no, I think they nailed it. And structure, like I said, I think it's paced well. They got all the bits in there. They managed to fit all the bits in there, and I think it's a really good story for what it is. Like that seems like an episode or an extended episode of the Flintstones. Like I said, the only issue that I might have is that it's just a little too PG, like a little bit too PG. Like if we're gonna do the honeymooners, Brooke said it earlier, like Wilma needs to be a little sassy. Like if you're gonna be mimicking Jackie Gleason and you're mimicking I forgot Art Carney, right? Like who Barney's supposed to be a caricature of. Like yeah, it could do it a little more, just a little more punch, right? But I think it's fine. I think style and structure are great.
Hell yeah. I love that. One of my favorite bits in the entire movie is something that was just on the tip of my tongue, and now it's gone. So as I think about that, Verno, what do you think about the style and structure?
Oh, I have so little to say. You guys have said.
I just remembered it, Verno.
No, please.
I knew he was going to do that.
It was the Rock Donald shit when they go and change the sign to 18 dozen sold to 19 dozen sold or something.
I do love that. And to me, that's what I love so much about it, is all the corny little stuff like that. All the Flintstones themed little corny, stupid jokes. Even the cartoony stuff like his tie rolling up when he sees Holly Berry and shit like that. So much of what you guys said. The garbage disposal, that could have been my favorite character. Just the design on it. It's so cute and ugly and just kind of perfect. So
I also love when he replaces the garbage disposal, and then the old one's the one who outs them in front of all those
That guy, that bum that he's talking to, I thought for sure, like, oh, is this the original actor that Fred like was the voice? You know what I'm talking about when he goes down there and he's talking to a guy that basically looks like Fred Flintstone.
Is that Ed Asner?
Whoever it is, he's not.
Are you talking about Jonathan Winters?
I don't know.
Jonathan Winters.
That's his name.
That's his name.
Yeah. He looks so much like Fred that I'm like, oh, is he the original voice actor? And then I looked into it and he wasn't. That's as far down as I went. But just the only thing I was going to add to like this, the structure of it, so many movies, especially in the 90s, but it's probably still a thing in like buddy comedies and just comedies of the era. You've got to have a fight midway through the movie. In Dumb and Dumber, we're not talking to each other anymore. And sometimes that could be the biggest weakness of a movie. They'll stretch that out too long or whatever. And in this, it wasn't too bad. Like actually seeing Fred's downfall and the way that Wilma kind of went with him and seeing the divide there was actually like fairly interesting, more so than it is in a lot of movies that have that bit in it. And I think it never doesn't overstay its welcome, and it wraps up pretty nicely. It kind of cruises along, half hour, hour and a half long.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I just fucking love this movie. I really didn't think I was gonna like. I intentionally tried to pick movies that were bad for April, right? And here I am, surprised as shit that I'm loving the Flintstones so much. Now, one of the things I know Jelani hates about the movie is the music. The music is done by David Newman. We all know who David Newman is. He's done so many movies, so much stuff. The Brave Little Toaster, Little Monsters. Where's the real stuff? Don't Tell Moms the Babysitter's Dead. Yeah. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. The Mighty Ducks. Hoffa, The Sandlot. We're not even in the good stuff yet. Tommy Boy. Nutty Professor. Jingle All the Way. Same director, by the way. From this movie to Jingle All the Way. Bowfinger. Never Been Kissed. Bedazzled. Damn, he did Flintstones and Viva Rock Vegas as well. But we all know who he is. The music sounds exactly what it's supposed to sound like to me. Now, I know that somebody here on the panel complained that the music sounded like the Flintstones theme over and over. Well, you watched the show, right? Like, I mean, but that's what it's supposed to be. But in addition to that, we got the B-52s, my bad, the BC-52s in here doing their version of the Flintstone theme. I like the music. Is it like something that like I can put on its own? Would I buy it if I was a vinyl collector? No. But it is definitely what this movie needs and what it deserves and what it's earned. And I think the music is just fine. Jelani, would you like to elaborate on your thoughts on the music?
It's samey as fuck. It's so samey. Love won't Fred the Flintstones. We're the Flintstones. The Flintstones. Hey, let's do a Flintstones. We're a Flintstones. You're the Flintstones. Flintstones.
Hey, yo, I heard you like the Flintstones, so let's put a Flintstone on your Flintstone.
Let's put the fucking Flintstones as a sad tone. Flintstones. We're the Flintstones. Yeah, God damn it. It's so...
It does do that.
It was like, it's like 7 or 8 times. Every time I'm hearing the goddamn Flintstone, I'm like, shut the fuck up. You got some other music? Now, B-52s were fine. The BC-52s were fine. The bad rock twist. But, oh my God. Flintstones. Meet the Flintstones.
I do think the movie could have used more waves.
Yeah, it needed some sound design. God damn it. It was killing me. I was like, how many fucking times do I have to fucking hear the fucking Flintstones song?
I'm going to make a new rule at my comic shop, Jelani. Every time you show up, they play the Flintstones theme on repeat.
No. I was like, damn it. Every minute. I was like, I had to go to the bathroom and pause the movie because I was in the bathroom. I was peeing. I was like, Flintstones. Meet the fuck. It's in my head again. And then, like, they played a rap version of it at the fucking end of the movie. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's 1994. That's what you did, bruh.
It was awful. It was so unbearable. It was every 5 minutes. And it would have been fine had it, I get it. It's the Flintstones. We earned it. We deserved it. Whatever the hell you said. But God damn it. Play something else. Play some Bedrock Twist again. Play something else. You can give me the tones, the high and lows of fucking Flintstones, but not. They played it like 8 times in the movie while I'm like trying to like enjoy the plot or lack thereof for me. I hated this movie more because of that fucking goddamn son of a bitch, stupid ass music. Fuck you, Flintstones, for playing that 97 times. I would have liked it had you not played it 97 times. That'd have been great. Not once did I enjoy it. Not once. Not even once. Not even once.
I love how repetitive you're being about something that annoyed you and how repetitive it was.
Flintstones. Dabba-dabba-doo time. A dabba-doo time. A dabba-doo time, gay. Yeah, I'm over it.
All right. Well, Jelani, I won't tell you you're wrong because your opinion's your opinion and you are entitled to it.
Thank you.
Brooks, what do you think about the music in the film?
I thought it was fine. Like, it is like very it's like, it's like music from the cartoon kind of, but with like, it's a little more cinematic, but it kind of does the same kind of beats, a lot of trumpets, a lot of wah, 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 that kind of stuff, but it suits the mood they're setting, which is Flintstones. So I don't complain about it.
You're right. And Steph, you're right too, man. The only thing in this movie was missing is Robert Patrick with the blonde high top fade, man. What about you, Fable? What do you think about the music in the Flintstones? Did it set the tone? Which was Flintstones. That's my favorite quote from Brooks ever.
I didn't even notice that they played the theme like 100 times, to be honest with you. It sounded like goofy cartoon music to me, like, like like cartoon fucking music. It has the sound effects, with the pitter patter of the feet and all that shit. I don't know. I thought it was fine. It did its job. My disappointment was the B-52s or the BC-52s. Like, oh man, that didn't age well.
Do the twist, the rock twist.
I love that they do the. I love that they do the soundtrack. Brooks, was that me? Was that me and you talking about it on Wednesday at the shop where I was like, "Do you know the B-52s did the fuck? We're in there, like they're in the fucking movie," and I was playing the fucking video. I like it.
Flintstones, meet the Flintstones.
Yeah. What do you expect a B-52's version of the Flintstone theme to sound like?
I would not.
Of course, it sounds like the B-52.
That guy. That shit would annoy the crap out of me. So I feel you on that.
It's all the B-52s, and we're
Flintstones.
It's the Flintstone Jam. What about you, Verno? Any thoughts on the music? The show is going off the rails, man.
What to add? First of all, I like the B-52s in that era.
Me too.
I like their segment.
Me too. I love
that they came.
They should have done the Bedrock Lobster, though. Brooks is right.
Bedrock Lobster. That would have been
missed opportunity.
What's funny was I honestly, because I'm like, okay, oh shit, we gotta talk about the music, and I'm like, what could I possibly say? Let me notice for a second, and I'm like, oh, I was actually enjoying the fact, like, oh, I like that they weren't just playing it. Like, I actually appreciate the fact that they're doing the Flintstone theme, but they're like changing whatever it is, the tonality, or I think what they're really doing is changing it from a major key to a minor key at the sad moments, and they're just like reworking it into the mood of the time. But I don't know, it didn't blow me away, but it sure as shit didn't annoy me that much at all, if any.
All right, good discussion. It was a rock. Lobster. That would have been fucking great, man. They probably were going to do that until Rosie O'Donnell reminded them of the Bedrock twist. You do. They should cast you as Betty if they ever do a remake, man. Let me tell you, Jelani. And you're wearing blue too, man. I'm telling you, man. You were made for that role. All right.
You're a pearl
This
necklace away.
This movie's got some thematics. What's this movie speaking to you, Jelani? What's the theme?
Read things before you sign them. Because, I mean, bad stuff happens when you don't read.
That's what the bird told him.
Yeah. I mean, I would have signed them if Halle Berry smashed her tits in my face, too. I mean, all right. You know, first thing we would have done to secretary, hey, let's get it on. Don't tell Wilma. Because it's Halle Berry. Halle Berry. So, yeah, read things before you sign them. Bad things happen when you don't. Just, you know, and you know, once again, the power of friendship. Don't forget your friends.
Yeah.
Don't forget people that got you to where you are. Fred did a good thing in helping Barney and Betty get Bam Bam in the adoption process. He repaid him in kind, but it turned out that he, you know, because he didn't know that Fred had done that, but at the same time, it felt like he did, and he still stepped on him. And it felt, you know, you got to remember who your friends are. Once you get to the top, remember who got you there.
Yeah.
Always remember who got you there. So that's it.
Look, you're right, man.
Damn,
This movie, this movie's got me rethinking this whole heel thing, man. Honestly.
There's not too many things in this week, too.
Don't step on your damn friends. Shit.
I love how even though Jelani hates this movie, he like
I hate it.
There's plenty I think he likes about this movie, and it's more than just Halle Berry's tits smashed in his face. What about you, Brooks? What's this movie speaking to you?
Well, I think this movie had, like, you know, obviously very much a criticism of, like, the kind of the rat race that we all have to go through, you know, like the plight of the working man, which Fred Flintstone has always been kind of like, you know, that working class hero type of archetype. But yeah, and this movie kind of like delves into the idea of, like, you know, automation too. And, you know, like the idea of automation more, like, you know, because the guy, he's got this, like, you know, this machine set up that he's, you know, he says is going to, like, you know, replace all these workers. But, you know, in the end, it's actually a scam too. It's like, you know, that's kind of a common theme in, like, you know, kind of these rich guy villains, is that they, you know, they promise the world, but, like, you know, they just give you this kind of veneer, like, you know, they kind of half-ass it, like, you know, they give you, like, the idea, but, like, you know, they can never deliver on it, and then they just kind of fuck off with all this money. But yeah, I think it's just like the Flintstones has always been kind of a little bit. It's kind of a love letter and kind of a bit of a scathing critique of, you know, our kind of American culture. And I think that's one of the things this movie captures really well is, you know, and it's in more of a modern sense. And, like, you know, it's kind of like the more things change, the more they stay the same. You know, the rat race is still the same, but just, you know, just like a few little differences. And that's why this movie doesn't feel like, you know, too much of an update actually from the cartoon, which is ironically set in the fucking Stone Age.
Yeah. One of my favorite bits is when they inadvertently discover concrete at the end of the film.
Yeah.
And the dude literally says,
Flintstone.
he goes, we're finally going to get out of the Stone Age. Like, it's such a self-aware movie. And that's like, I fucking love it, man. It knows exactly what it is. And I love the thing you were talking about, especially of industrialization. Something we will be talking about more fully in November. You ready for an official PCP movie announcement? November, Lord of the Rings. Movie by movie, all three Lord of the Rings movies.
Extended cut or theater cut?
Extended.
The extended cut.
You're a fucking loser, dude.
November, 3 weeks, one for each movie, because we can't watch 12 hours in one fucking week.
No,
unless it's a Hellraiser fucking franchise review or something, right?
No, Jelani, the extended cut? No, come on, man.
Oh, there's so much.
No, I have the extended cut. It's like right over there. I got all.
Yeah,
I watched all these. I read all these. I know what's going on.
Yeah. You
know what it is, son.
We've been building up to this.
You know what it is?
We've been breaking Brooks's heart every fucking year by like not doing it.
I'm doing Lord of the Rings. This one. Oh no, we changed our mind. I'm putting something else in here instead.
It was Back to the Future, and then last year I was like, "Nah, we're doing Van Damme." You were like, "God damn it!"
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, Van Damme it." That's what you mean. Fable, what's this movie speaking to you? The Flintstones.
Well, first with the trilogy, you know me, I hate freaking long ass movies. Like if I get them short, this is the only one time I would be like, yes, extended cut over theatrical release, man. So hell yeah for that. money can't buy happiness. That's what I get. Like, you know, Fred gets the money, he gets the fame, and gets everything, and for a minute it worked. You know, for a minute it did what it had to do. But you know, when times were tough, when things were rough, there was nobody around to help him out. Right? Everybody, or everybody got away from him. Like his wife went to the mother's house, Barney moved out, and Betty moved out, and he realized that was more important than anything that the money could buy him, anything the clams could buy him. And I think that's what it's about. Because even when he discovered concrete, and Mr. Slade told him, he said, "You could be rich beyond your wildest dreams." And he's like, "You know what? I already seen that version of myself. I'm good. I got my buddy here. We're all right." And I think that's the theme right there.
Hell yeah, more money, more problems.
Hell no, I want all the money. I'll leave all y'all.
Tulane just went against the own theme that he picked up. Remember who your friends are. He's like, nah, fuck you.
Fuck that. Give me the
Go
money.
figure reviews, starts making bank. You start pulling in $100K a week. You're done. He'll never be here again. He's like, shitty movie ever.
I don't know, y'all. Y'all be all right.
What about you, Verno? What's this movie speaking to you, my friend?
Oh, I'm glad I just thought of something because I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. We better pull something out. But I feel like I've referenced this a couple times. There was these experiments done at some point where they would have two people play Monopoly, and they would tell the one person, "We have rigged the game in your favor." And what they were really doing was studying how that player acted once he got rich and when he got up on the other people. And inevitably, they would get cocky. And they would start to get an attitude. They would start to talk shit, even though they knew that the game was rigged. Now, Fred didn't know it was rigged, but still, it's the same idea. You got to remember where you came from, like you guys were saying. And it is easy to get up on a high horse and start looking down on people like Fred does. So it's a good reminder. This flick is to stay level-headed.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You brought up the that Monopoly example in something recently that we did. What was that?
I don't know. It's my go-to. If I go, oh shit, I go to Monopoly.
Maybe it was the Lighthouse. Was it? We're like,
I hope not, because that was a couple weeks ago. That's too recent.
It was. I feel like it was recent. I mean, I don't know, man. It's fine. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I agree with what everybody's saying here. I think here's a question: what does the Flintstones movie from 1994, the live action one, have to do? Like, what does it have in common with Vin Diesel's Fast and Furious franchise?
Family.
It's about family, man. And it's not just about his wife and his kid and his pet. It's not just about Dino and Pebbles and Wilma. It's about Barney. It's about Betty. It's about Bam Bam. It's about the family that, not necessarily the family we're born with, but the family that we choose. Family we choose to be with, right? And Fred learns that lesson the hard way. Yeah, it deals with corporate greed, with the embezzlement scheme. It deals with the working class struggle. It deals with all of that shit. And the sad theme in the movie is that this shit ain't changed since the Stone Age. You know what I'm saying? It's still the same motherfucking thing that we're dealing with today. Maybe our president should watch this fucking movie, but I bet he'd take the wrong lesson out and just go buy more McDonald's. However,
that business guy was so cool. It's too bad he got covered in concrete.
Are all early 90s movies about family? I'm starting to think they are. Double Dragon.
There was a very family. It was a rubber band reaction of sorts to the Nancy Reagan, like, you know, just say no, and the Tipper Gore censorship. It was like in all the shit with horror movies, the 90s got soft, right?
Yeah. Super Mario Brothers is even about family. Like everything I'm thinking of that's coming in my head. Like, yeah,
it's all about family, man. It's like they were trying to lean us to one fucking thing in the 90s. They were like, procreate. Now they're like, stop.
Well, I think it was kind of the golden age of kids movies. There was a lot of movies directed at kids in the 90s that were super successful.
Yeah, but it's about that, man. It's about, like, no matter what it is, to me, this movie is built on the friendship of Barney and Fred, right? And Fred gets full of himself because he thinks he has this, like, because he does have this false sense of superiority against Barney, but he really doesn't. And one thing that's interesting is in the show, it seems like, to me, what do I remember? And I didn't watch a lot recently, but I feel like Fred was portrayed as smarter than Barney in the show.
Well, Barney was kind of a smart ass. He was always kind of like clowning on Fred low key. I think Barney was presented a little smarter than Fred, but not like a whole lot.
Okay.
They were
But
both pretty stupid, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were cavemen.
And they're stupid for each other. So
Like
I guess what I want to say is Jelani, Brooks, Fable, Verno, y'all are my family, my chosen family. I love being around you, and I am stupid for you. So there you go, man. I love you guys.
Fred.
This movie's about friendship. It's about family.
Are you gonna write us a poem? You didn't write us a poem.
Oh, damn. I should have fucking actually done the whole poem, right?
That would have been great. Oh, yeah.
So my best friends.
You guys are my best friends through thick and thin. We'll always be together, best friends forever. Shadow West. That's an inside bit that only the three of us get, but we'll fill you in one day, but you won't get it still. Anyway.
Someday we'll write the lore compendium, and it'll be the whole story will be there.
All right, time to rate this. It's time to rate this bitch and get on out of here, as Verna would say. All right, Jelani, out of 5 possible you digs, what do you give the Flintstones? You out there in the chat, drop your ratings right now.
Well, with this discussion, I've raised it a little bit. Y'all are like, I love this movie. This movie is my childhood. Well, I can watch with my cheering. So I'll raise it a little bit. I get 2.5. It's 2 and a knuckle.
2.5 Yabba Dabba Digs. That's what we're doing tonight.
It's fine. Halle Berry is gorgeous. Absolutely freaking gorgeous. Every time she's on the screen, I cry a little bit in my eyes. Cause I'm like, God dang, Halle Berry is still fine now. It's so beautiful. She's so beautiful. And the Dino looked good, and the bird kind of looked goofy, but the bird is the almost damn near the best part of this movie. Because he's the linchpin for all the things that happen. He's the Dick the Bird. He's heard and seen everything. So it's pretty cool. I like that. It's not a bad story. I just won't watch this again. I just have no desire to watch this again.
Well, here's another announcement. We're doing it again next year. I'm just kidding.
Every year. Instead of Bloodsport, we're gonna do this every year.
Oh, it's a double feature.
Oh, we did Bloodsport twice and Street Fighter twice. Why not this one, man?
Yeah. Oh no, let's not.
The next movie we do twice will be Spawn, just so everybody knows.
Fair enough, because we got to do that one again.
We do.
We got to get that hate. We got to get that hate back. Like, this is a Spawn movie.
I think we all rather liked it the last time we talked about it.
We loved it.
I like
but
that movie,
anything during COVID was like that was our first COVID movie review. But it was the official. It was actually the first PCP movie night in the live era with Spawn. So
it was us doing
we
Spawn.
gotta celebrate that. So
yeah. I understand that.
2.5 from Jelani. Hell yeah! What about you, Brooks? How many Yadabba Digs do you give it?
I give us 4 Yadabba Digs. It's not a great movie, but it's entertaining enough. And if you're a Flintstones fan, you'll probably get a kick out of it just for all the references. Like, it throws in all the sound effects. It is a Flintstones movie, and I think it's a fun kids movie too. I think most kids, like even today, would probably watch this movie and enjoy it because of just how goofy it is. Like, even if the effects don't really hold up as much, but you're not going to get like perfect cartoon effects, and it's just it's kind of a product of the times. And the little CG they did use in this movie, I thought was all right. I didn't think it was too bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's not a great movie, but a pretty good one.
Hell yeah, I like that. What about you, Fable? How many Yadabba Digs do you give this one?
I'm gonna go with 3.5, 3.5 Yadabba Digs. I think this one is just okay. Like Brooks said, it's just fine for adults. But I do agree. I think children, especially younger children, will eat this up. I think they'll absolutely love this because my mother-in-law, she's into old cartoons. Like she'll watch the old Hanna-Barbera shit, the Flintstones, the Jetsons, all that stuff. So she's got my little ones into it. They've never seen this. So I'm in my head, I'm like, damn, if I show them this, they're probably gonna go nuts. Like, because they love the Flintstones and the Jetsons and all that stuff. So, yeah, no, this is not a bad movie by any stretch. Like there are so many worse movies than this, and it's better than average. So I'm gonna just because they nailed the Flintstones aesthetic, like they absolutely nailed this. So 3.5, yeah.
All right, 3.5 from Fable. What about you, Verno? What are you thinking?
I'm right there with Brother Fable, man. 3.5. It's which I say that's like says it's a good movie. That's a solid 7. It's good, and it is like just like you said. It's better for a kids movie than it is an adult film. It's aged pretty well, and I still get a giggle out of it. So 3.5, man. As you can tell, I'm distracted by my kid down here tearing things apart and almost bringing my computer down. So I apologize.
Well, I was slightly distracted by trying to find the damn Barney Rubble fucking little thing that he does, the poem, but I can't remember it right now. I can't find it. So anyway, so a 3.5 from you, Verno, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I will agree with Brooks. I'll give it a 4. I think this movie's pretty solid, man. I think it's really good. It's actually a really good satire of suburban life, which I think the Flintstones initially was. And I think the movie does that pretty well. I love the ambitious nature of the production. I love the passion and the love that was put into this movie. I love how evident that passion and love is. I think the performances are great. The practical effects are great. The CGI is pretty solid for the time. And yes, Brother Joe, I would say that at the time, it was rather convincing. More convincing than some stuff we got years later, or even some MCU stuff we get today, right? I think Dino fits more into that environment than She-Hulk does.
Yep.
That's just me. That's what I'm saying. 4 from me, 4 from Brooks, a 3.5 from Verno and from Fable, and a 2.5 from Jelani for a PCP average of 3.69 stones, dudes. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Thus concludes our movie review of the Flintstones. But don't worry. If you thought we were only talking about cheesy-ass movies, dumb-ass movies, you just wait. Because next week, we have what I guarantee you is one of the worst movies you've ever seen.
Jesus Christ.
And we're going to talk about it. Fateful Findings, written and directed and starring Neil Breen.
Jesus.
The first time that we're covering a Neil Breen movie on this channel, and it's Fateful Findings. I cannot wait to have this conversation.
Bro, it's going to be awesome.
Next week. It is literally one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And
that movie is Fateful Findings is 10 minutes longer than the Flintstones.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh my God.
Why? Why?
Why?
And good luck finding it, because Neil Breen is one of the most important independent cinema makers out there, because the only way you can find this movie is to purchase it from him directly.
No.
You got to go to his house, knock on his door.
Yeah, you got to go to his house, knock on his door.
And how much you charging?
Well, if you want it digitally, it's like $13.
Oh, hell no,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, dude.
But I'm not saying that anybody should.
Spoiler alert. It's
But
really
maybe
bad.
you should, because I wouldn't recommend paying $13 for
I'm
this
gonna have
movie.
to hit one of you guys up for those places to go.
But at the same time,
Exactly.
this movie is so bad. It is literally so much fun. So Fateful Findings next week here on PCP Movie
Look at
Night.
that hair, dude. Look
It's
at
the
that
worst
hair.
cover I've ever seen to
Yeah,
anything
look at that
ever.
hair.
Oh my
He's got-
God.
Brother, I couldn't even make a good thumbnail out of this thing, man. You know what I'm saying? I just like
That fucking blue
I made
steel,
sure the
bro.
thumbnail matched the movie. Verno, you should watch it on your own if you can get a hold of it, because
Jesus Christ.
I know you're not on the show, but you should just watch it. Because I just love to hear what you should.
You
should
sold
just
it
watch
so
it.
well.
Yeah, you should.
It'll be the first time he doesn't watch anything twice. He'll be like,
Yeah.
hell no.
This will be my second time watching it, man. So I'm
Ugh.
really, really excited.
Woo!
Jelani, thank you so much for being here. What you got coming up, my man?
Well, I mean, it's good discussion. It's the Flintstones. Meet the Flintstones. You know. So, yeah, it was a good discussion. Brooks and I do this thing called Go Figure Reviews Asaurus. It's one of our fancy deals where we throw rocks together and we give them ratings. This time we did Dakin Wolverine. He's the Dark Wolverine from the Dark Avengers. He's very dark, and he has a mohawk, so he's kind of cool. He's Wolverine's kid. And the other video we did was the Banshee video, a much-needed Banshee, because the Banshee we got was trash, hot garbage trash. And we finally got a good replacement. We did get the 3-pack, but this is like the classic giant-size X-Men. Banshee.
Does that come with a little miniature giant-size X-Men?
It comes with a mini.
All of them come with a mini comic.
All of them. Dakin comes with one as well. And
we got those early.
Well, yeah,
very waiting for mine, man. Damn.
Yeah, no, yeah. That's why we put them out, because we get them early. We get lucky. We got a guy that buys them from Canada. With tariffs.
With the tariffs.
Tariffs. So we get lucky. So when we get lucky, we put videos out. We also did a ROM video as well. So
that one is woof.
Guys, it's fire.
On my Dynamite show earlier, somebody bought me a ROM #1, y'all. Because I was like, I've never read ROM. I wonder if it's any good. Somebody's like, I buy it, send it to Robbie. And I'm like, shit. Now I got to read ROM #1, man. Get ready for Marvel in the 80s.
He's got his own lore. They did a whole bunch of stuff. And it was an actual toy back in 79.
Yeah.
And that toy was trash. But like it's something about it that people just loved it, and they didn't have any characters or anything. So it kind of did well, and then it flopped. So they brought it back, and Marvel has the lore for ROM. So they made all the story backstory.
Yeah, they utilize it in fucking Darkhawk and shit still, I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So he's still a thing in Marvel Comics. And like he worked Fantastic Four, he worked with the X-Men. He's fought tons of Marvel people.
He was in Age of Ultron.
It was
a big deal back then.
Yeah.
Marvel's getting the rights back, or at least they have the rights to reprints back. But hell yeah, everybody go check out Go Figure Reviews. I see some blue wrenches out there in the chat. If you could throw out a link to subscribe to their channel. The other better half of Go Figure Reviews is Brooks Stone himself. Brooks, final thoughts. Thank you for being here.
Oh yeah, it's always good to be here, and I had a lot of fun with this one. Go back to the past, a little nostalgia, and it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Which, boy, oh boy, Faithful Findings. That's going to be a surprise.
Wait.
I'm rubbing my hands for this one, bro. I can't wait.
We're so excited. Joe Corallo will be here, man. He was so excited when we were doing Faithful Findings.
Even better.
I think Joe's favorite thing is to shit on movies.
Yes.
So he's ready.
I'm
he's
starting
ready
to think that way too, bro.
All right. Fable, thank you so much for being here. What you got coming up? Final thoughts.
Thank you as always for having me on these PCP movie nights, man. I love hanging out with you guys talking about these movies, and I gotta agree, man. This movie is not bad, man. I know that was the theme, but it's not that terrible. It's pretty decent.
Not.
I do a little live show on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern with all these fine gentlemen that you see at the bottom of the screen, where we talk about the week in pop culture news and topics, and show off a couple of things that we got during the week. So come hang out if you're not doing anything on Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern on the One Collection Down channel. Smoke them if you got them. Drink them, get your sip on.
Smoke them if they're Winston's.
Exactly. And come hang out, man. Friday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, One Collection Down. The all new, all different Blame Fable show.
I don't know, Fable. This week you are competing against the Go Home SmackDown show before WrestleMania. I'm just saying, man. John Cena's gonna be there.
I mean, tonight was Raw.
We're missing Raw every Monday.
I can't wait to wrap this shit up and go watch some Raw, man. Let's see what happens, man.
That's how much I love you guys. That I will miss Raw for you guys, man. I'll catch it on the rewind.
You know what's better on the repeat, because then they skip the commercials, man. So
yeah, exactly. and the matches I don't care about.
Right.
Guys. Yeah.
There's some good shit going on tonight, man. I just hope Logan Paul gets his head taken off at WrestleMania. Anyway, Verno, love you. Thank you for being here. Love that you chose this movie. What you got coming up, my man?
Love you as well, and appreciate you having me. And that is a perfect segue to what you guys were just talking about. That's one of the big reasons why I moved my show to the afternoons, on Thursday afternoons, because I was sick of missing Bulls games. I was sick of missing Lakers games. The playoffs are coming up, and I'm like, fuck it. I like the afternoon.
Oh, fucking, I don't even have this thumbnail right now, but we had a really great conversation yesterday about some Masters of Horror. Me, you, and Fable, and Eric.
Yes.
It's a great series Verno's been doing, where we're going through the Masters of Horror 2 episodes at a time. Yesterday we did Chocolate and Homecoming.
Joe
Great
Dante
conversation.
and Mick. It's a fun series because what it does, it allows us to have a little conversation about the show and then about the director, a different master of horror each episode. So yeah, I appreciate you and Fable and Eric being there for it. And this Thursday, 12:30 Central Time, 1:30 Eastern Time, whatever the fuck that is out on the West Coast, we're doing Night of the Living Dead 1990, the remake directed by Tom Savini. It's going to be a first-time watch for me and Stu's never seen either. He's never even seen the OG. So I actually watched this and I'm like, Stu, bro, you got to go back and watch the OG first. I can't let this be your first viewing. He said
maybe you should. That'd be an interesting thing, though.
It would be, and this is what I said to him. I said I almost feel bad for having you watch this one first. I'm like, you do you. It'll be interesting either way, but I would feel bad if this like tarnishes your viewing experience for what is one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
Understandable.
And I think it kind of would to watch the remake. And then
Fable, is this not a different Verno than yesterday when he was talking about? He was like, I haven't seen it yet, but I hear it's really good. I'm very excited. And now he's like, I remember bad.
Yeah, you saw. Yeah, you noticed that, huh?
I remember liking it when I saw it. I haven't seen it in decades, but I get what you're saying because that's like watching the RoboCop remake and not watching the original. It's like, no, don't ever do that. Don't ever do that.
Tony Todd's great in the movie, man.
While I'm thinking of it, how do you guys think it would be, or how do you guys think people would react to seeing this having never seen the cartoon? Because that's clearly like a huge impact, or it's a big part of all of our experience. They would hate it more than
Delaney, man.
That's what I think.
Probably, yeah.
Yep. Facts.
Especially if they didn't know it was a cartoon.
Right.
Like, imagine you just give this to somebody cold. Like, hey, watch Flintstones. And they're just like, what the fuck is this?
Why did they do this?
Why did he bowling on his territory? It's so stupid.
It's so corny. Only kids would like this. Little kids. In like 94, I just started high school. I was probably a freshman in high school. So that's probably
how many action figures do you have, bro?
A lot. Tons.
I'm still a big kid, so no, I don't hate it too much, man.
Thanks, Two Gun.
Yeah.
All right. Any other final thoughts, Verno?
Negative, brother. Negative, man. Appreciate you guys.
All right. For my final thoughts, go check out everybody's channel. Go Figure Reviews. One Collection Down. Blood Splatter Chatter. Check out the Masters of Horror conversation. Check out the upcoming shows. Watch some SmackDown. Watch some Raw. Watch some WrestleMania. The Wednesday after WrestleMania, by the way, was that the 23rd or some shit like that?
Something like
We're going to be here at 6 p.m. Central Time for our official PCP first ever WrestleMania review and reaction. Herm's going to be there. Fable's going to be there. I think big ol' the voice himself, Mike Matthews, is going to be there. Jelaine, are you going to be there?
I'll try to be there. Yeah.
Come on,
Jelane's going to try to be there.
Yeah, let's go.
Jelane's going to try. We're talking about WrestleMania. Y'all get ready. It's time.
Are you ready?
Year of the heel. John Cena, you can't see me. And for my final thoughts, I wish I had another quote, but I'll just do it again. Yabba dabba dip.